Good morning, children. Children, it's our English class, and today I'm going to continue the chapter 3, the overcoat. And in the previous class, we have already read the chapter, and half of the chapter we have already discussed. So, well, now let's continue the chapter, and please open your book. Children, today we will start from page number 22. So now let's come to that page. Now let's start reading. The collar was low so that his neck, in spite of the fact that it was not long, seemed inordinately so as it emerged from it, like the necks of those plaster kittens which wag their heads and are carried about upon the heads of scores of Russian foreigners. On reaching home, he sat down at once at the table, souped his cabbage soup up quickly. He rose from the table and copied papers which he had brought home. If there happened to be none, he took copies for himself for his own gratification, especially if the document was not worthy, not on account of its style, but of its being addressed to some distinguished person having written to his heart's content. He lay down to sleep, smiling at thought of the coming day, or what God might send him to copy on the tomorrow. Means, children, he was not a good looking person. Means Akaki Akakavich was not a good looking person. The collar was low so that his neck, in spite of that fact that it was not long, and it just seemed, it was seemed extremely, and it came out from it. And when he reaches his home, he just sat down at once at the table, and he take his cabbage soup, and he rose from the table after some time and copied papers which he had brought to home as homework. If there happened to be none, means there was not any work, and he took just copies for himself for his own gratification. Means he just take papers and copies and start his work for just his satisfaction, for just his pleasure. And children, having written to his heart's content, means having written to his heart's thought, he lay down to sleep, smiling at the thought of the coming day. After finishing his work, he just sat down. After finishing the work, after having written his heart content, he lay down to sleep and just thought that what will be done tomorrow, what will be happen tomorrow. There exists in St. Petersburg a powerful foe of all who receive a salary of 400 rubles. Children, ruble is the currency of Russia. Okay, rubles a year or thereabouts. This foe is no other than the northern cold. Although it is said to be very healthy, at an hour when the foreheads of even those who occupy exalted position ache with the cold, and tears start to their eyes. The poor titular counselors are sometimes quite unprotected. Their only salvation lies in traversing as quickly as possible in their thin little overcoats 5 or 6 streets, and then warming their feet in the porter's room, and so thawing all their talents and qualifications for official service which had become frozen on the way. Now the narrator is talking about a new thing, a new foe, new enemy, and the enemy was the climate of that place, means the climate of northern Russia, and there is a lot of cold there, although it is said to be very healthy. Means now he is saying that the people who has a very good position in that place, they also have ache, means they have also headache, and because of the cold, and the tears start to their eyes because of the cold. The poor titular counselors are sometimes quite unprotected, means they also feel too much cold, and the poor titular counselors are sometimes feel a lack of protection. Their only salvation, means their only rescue, lies in traversing as quickly as possible, means in their thin little overcoat 5 or 6 street, and then warming their feet in the potter's room, and so thawing all their talents and qualifications for official service, which had already become frozen in the way. You must know that Akaki Akakovich's overcoat served as an object of ridicule to the officials. They even refused it the noble man of overcoat, and called it a brushing jacket only. Seeing how the matter stood, Akaki Akakovich decided that it would be necessary to take the overcoat to Petrovich. Children, here is a name Petrovich. Petrovich is the tailor who lived somewhere on the fourth floor up a dark staircase, and who, in spite of his having what one eye and pock marks all over his face, means he just had only one eye and there were pock marks all over his face. This is all about Petrovich, the tailor. Now, children, Akaki Akakovich decided to have an overcoat, and Akaki Akakovich decided that it would be necessary to take a overcoat, and he decided to go to Petrovich to stitch a new coat. Okay, that's is to say, when he was sober and not nursing some other scheme in his head. Now he thinks, no, it is impossible to mandate. It is a rest garment. You must have a new overcoat, said the tailor. Now the tailor says that no, it is impossible to mandate. It is rest garment. You must have a new overcoat, said the tailor. Means, children, when Akaki Akakovich asks the tailor to repair the coat, then the tailor said, no, it's not in good condition and it is impossible to repair it. So you should have a new coat. You should have a new overcoat, said the tailor. At the word new, all grew dark before Akaki Akakovich's eyes, and everything in the room began to whirl round. A new one, said he, as if still in a dream. He was not a good salary person, means he does not have a good salary. So now when he thinks how we can find a new coat, how I can take a new overcoat, how can I purchase that. Now Akaki Akakovich was in deep grief, and he thinks everything was dark before Akaki Akakovich's eyes. Now he said, why I have no money for that? Because, children, his salary was not good and he was not in a good condition. So he thinks, why and how can I take that new coat? Okay, yes, a new one, said Petrovich with varvas composure. Children, here is a word, varvas. Varvas means unfeeling. Petrovich does not know about Akaki Akakovich's conditions. So he asks to take a new overcoat. Well, if it came to a new one, how much would it cost? Now he asks, okay, I will see that I will be able to take that or not, but tell me the cost of that new overcoat. Well, you would have a layout 150 or more, said Petrovich, and pursed up his lips significantly. 150 rubles for an overcoat, shrieked poor Akaki Akakavich. Now Akaki thought, 150 rubles. Children, I already told you, rubles is the currency of Russia, as we have our currency as rupiah, you know, like that. Shrieked poor Akaki Akakavich, perhaps for the first time in his life, for his voice had always been distinguished for softness. Yes, said Petrovich. Now Petrovich said, yes, you have to take. Now Petrovich, please do repair it somehow so that I will serve a little longer, said Akaki Akakavich. Now Akaki Akakavich is not ready to take a new overcoat, and he again uh, requests the Petrovich, the tailor Petrovich, please do repair it, and I will be happy with it, and I will serve a little longer, said he. And no, it would only be a waste of time and money, said Petrovich. No, no. Now she says, oh, no, no, you have to take. Because if I will do that, if I will repair it and I will mend it, it will be only a waste of time because it will not work anymore. Akaki Akakavich went away after these words, utterly discouraged. Now he went out from his shop. Akaki Akakavich was still for mending it, but Petrovich would not hear of it and said, I shall certainly have to make you a new one, and you may depend upon it. Then Akaki Akakavich saw that it was impossible to get it along with a new overcoat, and his spirit sank utterly. What? Although he knew that Petrovich would undertake to make a clock for 80 rubles, still, where was he to get the 80 rubles from? He might possibly manage half, yes, half might be procured. But where was the other half to come from? Akaki Kakavich thought and decided that it would be necessary to curtail his ordinary expenses for the space of 1 year at least, to dispense with tea in evening, to burn no candles, and if there was anything which he must do, to go into his landlady's room and work by her light. When he went into the street, he must walk as lightly as he could and as cautiously upon the stones, almost upon tiptoe, in order not to wear his heels down into short a time. He must give a laundress as little to wash as possible, and in order not to wear out. Now he is thinking that, okay, now I have to take a new, but he does not has money, he does not has proper food, proper things, proper clothes, proper dress. Now he has to take a new one. So he is thinking that from where I will manage the money. Now he is thinking that, okay, I will manage somehow. Now he is thinking that uh, he will not take tea for 1 year in the evening. Now he is deciding not to take tea in the evening, and he will not burn the candles, and he will not burn the candles at night, and for doing any work, for typing, for copying the papers, he will go to landlady's room and work by her light. He will take the help of the light of landlady's room, and when he went into the street, he will not wear uh, any heels, and in order to wear his heels he will go through the streets without any sound. Even he will walk on tiptoe. He must give the laundries as little to wash as possible. Means he will not go for wash his dresses and in order not to wear out. Okay. Now he is thinking he must take them off as soon as he got home and wear only his cotton dressing gown, which had been long and carefully saved. Now he is thinking that he will not give his coat to wash to the washerman for the next year, and he will just use his cotton dressing gown when he will go to the home. At least once every month he went to Petrovich to talk about the overcoat, where it would be best to buy the cloth, what color it should be, and what price. Another 2 or 3 months, a partial fasting, and Akaki Akakavich had actually saved up nearly 80 rubles. Means after 2 or 3 months, he was able to save nearly 80 rubles. The very first day he set off in company with Petrovich to the shop. They bought some very good cloth. Means they both bought very good cloth for overcoat. Petrovich worked at the overcoat for 2 whole weeks. Now the tailor worked at the overcoat for 2 whole weeks. For there was a great deal of quality. Okay. Otherwise, it would have been finished sooner. Petrovich was a very good man and he just want to make his overcoat very nice. So he decided to work on it very uh, carefully. So he worked on his overcoat for 2 weeks. He charged 12 rubles for the job. It could not possible have been done for less. It was all sewed with silk in small double seams, and Petrovich went over each seams afterwards with his own teeth, stamping in various patterns. Means it was not possible to take less than 12 rubles for his job. Means Petrovich was not able to take less than 12 rubles because it was too much work on that overcoat. It was all sieved, it was all stitched with silk in small and double seams. Means it has double seams, and Petrovich went over each seam afterwards with his own teeth and stamping in various patterns. It is difficult to say precisely on what day, but probably the most glorious one in Akaki Akakovich's life, when Petrovich at length brought home the overcoat. He brought it in the morning before the hour when it was necessary to start for the department. Never did an overcoat arrive so exactly in the nick of time, for the severe cold had set in and it seemed to threaten to increase. Petrovich brought the overcoat himself as befits a good tailor. On his countenance was a significant expression such as Akaki Akakavich had never beheld there. He seemed fully sensible that he had done no small deed and crossed a gulf separating tailors who only put in linings and execute repairs from those who make new things. Taking out the overcoat, he gazed proudly at it, held it up with both hands, and flung it skillfully over the shoulders of Akaki Akakavich. Then he pulled it and fitted it down behind with his hand, and he wrapped it round Akaki Akakavich without buttoning it. Now, the tailor Akaki Akakavich. The name of the tailor was Petrovich. Petrovich brought the coat after stitching, after sewing him, and when he comes, he just give the coat to the to Akaki Akakevich, and Akaki Akakevich gazed it proudly. Means he just see it proudly, okay, and held it up with both hands and flung it skillfully over the shoulders of Akaki Akakevich. Then he pulled it and fitted it down behind his hand, and he wrapped it around Akaki Akakevich, and it was without buttoning. Akaki Akakevich, like an experienced man, wished to try the sleeves. Petrovich helped him on with them, and it turned out that the sleeves were satisfactory also. Means the stitching of that overcoat was very good. Okay. In short, the overcoat appeared to be perfect. Okay. Means it was looking a perfect overcoat and the most seasonable. He paid him, thanked him, and set out at once in his new cloak for the department. Petrovich followed him and, pausing in the street, gazed long at the overcoat in the distance, after which he went to one side expressly to run through a crooked alley and again emerge again into the street beyond the gaze once more upon the overcoat from another point, namely directly in front. Now the chapter is over. I hope you have understood all about the chapter. So, children, I will send the answer sheet of this chapter in form of PDF. Thank you, children.